Huge mess. 2 nasty, horrible cat creatures gone. And just a scared but relieved looking altar boy. I don't really know what his position is exactly. Peeking his head around the door frame.
I've been calling him a clergyman.
Sure.
Whatever that means, right?
Good enough. But this little device this little, statue here is still spewing cats every 6 seconds.
Right, let's see. I wanted to do something. What was it? Solve the problem. Right, I wanted to solve the problem.
Perhaps some type of magic that unmagifies magics. There's a nearby magic shop, is there not?
I believe so.
There's a magic shop in town, sure.
We could definitely check that place out and see what they've got.
Are there magics that stop magics? I don't know much about magics.
I believe so, but I don't really know them all that well.
In the meantime, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead and get rid of these just because I'm not taking space up.
I feel like, as far as trying to track down the thieves, that even with all the cats gone, there's still this layer of dead cat that will make it difficult to try and find any clues.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, I believe any clues towards the thieves are well cat-obliterated by this point.
So I think your idea of stopping the magic from happening by other means is probably the way to go.
And now that the scene has less obstructing your view, you can see that this is like a well-carved alabaster statue of a cat in a sitting position.
Tower will approach the cat's statue.
I will also.
Okay.
You're drawn to this thing.
If I could give it a religion check real quick.
Sure. Definitely Bast.
I
don't mean that the statue necessarily. It is. I guess I would say that it is, one form that Bast could be depicted as. It is certainly a iconography. Is that the word I'm looking for? Why'd that pop into my brain?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Suggesting Bast, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I say words that sound super smart, and I'm like, that can't be right. Why would I say that? Anyways.
I do the same, but I often hope that they're the wrong word. Because that's just funnier.
Yeah.
And it's better if I don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
Can I do an Arcana check to see if I can know if this, if the cat magic, I guess, well, if it indeed is, like something that was put upon it, or if I know why it's doing that. Is that clear enough?
Objection compound. Sorry, I'm watching a lot of Amber Heard trials. So. That sounds like a lot in one question. I'm trying to figure out what you mean.
Oh, stop. Sorry.
Just by looking at it, not touching it, or doing anything like that?
Well, it's not leaving me alone.
He wants you to touch it.
Gross, Tybalt. Consent.
Well, first, where are the cats appearing from? I know that's not the Arcana check. That's just in general.
They are emanating, they are sprouting forth from the statue.
Like a specific spot, though, or is that not clear?
The statue itself is only about 1.5 feet tall and maybe 6 to 7 inches wide. Does that make sense? It's like a little bust of a cat statue. It looks like it's just normal. It looks like you could carry it yourself.
Oh, so they're kind of just morphing out of it almost, because they're the same size, basically.
Yeah, it looks like they're being spawned out of it.
Okay.
When you play Minecraft and you find the little spawner for the enemies.
Never played that game.
Right.
It's splitting through osmosis, I assume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You got it.
Yeah, I don't want to touch it, so I guess just whatever I can tell from looking.
If you need somebody to touch it, I can rotate it around for you. Tower's not trepidations by touching this thing at all.
Go for it.
I don't know much, so I'll hold it up and you just tell me when you need it turned. And Tower will reach out and grab the thing to hold up for Straw to examine.
Just
And-
want to see if there are like inscriptions or
Sure.
something.
And then actually, will Tower just do an investigation check for me because it makes sense?
Oh, absolutely. Here we go. Oh, shit.
Ooh,
Okay.
with
Well-
a 0, no less.
Right.
Yeah. Shra, with the aid of Tower, like turning this thing around as you're looking at it, you may not be the most versed in magical things, but you have some experience, obviously. This does seem to be some sort of magical device for sure, from what you can tell. And Tower, as you're kind of turning this object that looks completely smooth, as you're running your hands along it to move it around, you feel these like areas that are slightly raised in bumps around it, which you would immediately recognize to be not unlike, say, like the key that you guys found to open the temple in Mayfield, or even the item that you now have in somewhere on your persons that you were kind of piecing together. It seems of the same technology.
Oh.
All the while, this thing is continuing to spew cats while you're doing this.
Oh my. Wow, that got very C3PO. Here's there is a some kind of bumpage here. The magical in nature. Like here you can see it. It's like the temple and the what are we calling it now? Not the yay big, but the how's it?
So large?
The so large. Yes.
Also, I kind of buried a lead because I was getting into that and not into the other part. You also find a little a bump that's much larger and seems to be like taped almost in some way near where the tail meets the back end of this cat, as if it does not seem to be part of the structure itself. Seems like something was placed there. That's also important, I suppose. But
Curious.
with your investigation, you definitely find that as well.
Well, I'm going to this doesn't look like it might be some bit of cat stuck here or tape. And Tower will reach out a finger or two and try to pry off whatever might be stuck to this thing.
I raise my shield.
It's
Yes, I
pulling
know.
tape can be a pain in the ass, but it will come free. And on the other side of that tape, you see a humanoid tooth,
Ew.
Oh,
yellow, stained, and that's about it.
What a molar or what kind?
Make a medicine check.
Okay.
It's definitely not a front tooth. It could be a molar.
and if so go ahead.
I was just thinking if we could, I didn't think of someone that was missing a tooth, but if it's a molar, then we probably wouldn't necessarily know that about someone.
True.
Think of someone who is missing a tooth. Interesting.
I don't, if it was an obvious front tooth or
Yeah.
something.
Mhm.
Tower will remove the tape and like separate it from the statue in hopes that does a thing.
Wait, you're sorry. Say it one more time.
Removing the tape from the statue and like separating the tooth from the statue. Like obviously the tape has been holding the tooth to the statue.
Yeah. So let me reiterate what I meant. Like when you take the tape away, the tooth remains on the piece of tape.
Got it. Perfect.
Both come free from this statue.
And
like
yet
the only thing
that
was keeping the tooth attached to the statue was the adhesive from either side of the tape. Like
right.
nothing, and the adhesive on the tooth is keeping it to the tape.
I get that. Yeah, I get what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
And cats are still persisting out of
Yes.
this thing?
Correct.
Fair enough.
I would like to lightly touch my holy symbol to the cat and see if anything happens.
More cats spew out within the 6-second time period.
Standard quantity, I imagine.
Yes. No better, no worse.
Well, I'm shit out of ideas.
Should we fiddle with these bumps? Is that how we were able to use these devices in the past? Was fiddling with the bumps?
Yes. Does it feel like we could fit one of ours in there?
Wait, what?
One of our key things.
Oh no! They're somewhat smaller. They look like they don't. I mean, 20 investigation. I'll just let this carry over as well. They look like smaller, almost like rivet-like protrusions, and they're like smaller. They're like clustered together in various parts of the statue. Doesn't seem to be. It doesn't look like it's the same pattern in each place. If that makes sense.
But yeah, it just trying to remember the history of these things. Was that how we dealt with these devices? Is we like touch the different bumps in different orders or whatnot to activate them? I'm just trying to remember. And I'm not good at that.
Not that key or anything. That key kind of like slipped into a. You found those rivets on the door of the tomb itself, and you were able to put that key there, and they kind of
Gotcha.
turned and opened the doorway. But in the other place where you were with when you were out in the wilds, you did find certain containments that had a similar kind of thing that you touched to open things before, and yeah.
Okay. Young clergy folk. You said this was moved shortly after the theft. Could you show us where it was before?
It was up the stairs, and in the storage room.
Oh, it wasn't out on display. Okay. Well, maybe we should check out the storage room.
The storage room is where everything was. The items were stolen from, and when we saw that the place had been tossed, this item seemed to be, excuse me, spawning a cat every so often, and we thought, oh boy, blessings from Bast.
Right, so perhaps it was moved when it should not have been moved during the theft. Up to the storage room, folks? Yeah.
Yes.
It's still spawning cats.
We're trying.
What are we doing about that?
Okay. We are taking it up to the storage room and hoping that putting it back where it goes will stop it. Okay. I think, right? No?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth a shot.
And that's what we do.
He'll kind of lead you up, and up here you can see that there's like a area, like a catwalk, if you will, that you can look down and see the area below. But there is like a section that is not open that way, that has like a few doors, and seems to be like some a place where these people would usually live, and there's like, eating area, a place for bathing, and he does like pull out a set of keys and kind of nervously unlocks a door that he opens up, and you can see it's just full of crates and some old tapestries that are kind of rolled up in the corner, and it just looks to be kind of like, it looks like a storage room.
And do you have any recollection as to where this was placed directly before the theft?
More cats. Probably that crate there. You see one that's kind of open in a jar. There seems to be some hay inside of it.
Shall we look? Somebody smarter than me should probably take the actual look.
I'll take a look inside, or maybe Shra with that fancy headband.
With your help, maybe?
Sure, I'll help you.
And what are you looking for?
To see if there is perhaps something left, like the key, or something that indicates like another part of it.
So what are you gonna do? We have this, like, the box itself, the crate itself seems to be like 3 feet by 3 feet and 3 feet deep. It's like a nice square wooden crate container.
Just kind of push the hay around,
and then kind of searching through the hay, you get the sense that this is just a crate of hay.
Like nothing was in there before?
Like there's no longer anything in it now.
Can I tell, like, was there an indent of something being there before?
In hay?
Yeah, like it got packed down,
Sure. Yeah. Looks like there's something about 1.5 feet by 7 inches. It's not like memory foam or something. There's not like a cutout of a cat statue in here. It's just loose hay that is meant to cushion stuff. You know what I mean?
Right. But if something
Mhm.
was stored there for a while, I would think the ones around it would be more, crumpled up.
Pressed.
Yeah.
Sure.
It feels reasonable to say that is where the cat is basically was.
Yeah, based on what you're looking at and based on what this clergyman has told you, yes,
Okay.
this should be where it was.
And there's nothing else in there other than hay.
Correct. It seems like the rest of the room has been put back in order, and this crate is just awaiting to be used again, essentially.
Well, do you think just putting it back would do it?
Unless you found something magical that might indicate it, I don't believe it will, but I will definitely give it a shot. Things often do not make sense around this magic stuff to me. And Tower will go ahead and place that statue back in the box.
Okay. Are you going to just leave it in the box? You're going to shut the lid?
Yeah, we're going to put the lid on top as well.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Okay.
for a few seconds, just to see what happens.
You feel a poof on the top of the shelf. Are you forcing it down?
Nah, Tower's not going to put too much pressure. It's going to let those poor kitties on out.
They will get out as soon as they can.
I'd like to look around the rest of the room to see if there's anything else.
Like I said, there's other various crates that are stacked. There's rolled up tapestries. There's books kind of packed away on certain shelves and such.
Yeah, before heading on out of the room, Tower's going to ask to have a general perception check as well around.
Okay.
You going, Tro?
Oh, yeah.
A general perception check for what exactly?
Anything that feels clue-like, honestly. It's, like leftover signs of theft that weren't cleaned up. Other relics in the room that seem weird. It's really hard to know.
Signs of like maybe other crates that were rummaged through or things that look out of place.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Not really.
Yeah, fair enough.
I look around too.
I mean, sure.
Wow.
It looks like a storage area.
Shall we get this cat statue out of here then?
I suppose.
It seems like there's not much in here to be found.
Question: Does the statue look like it's been damaged at all?
No.
Clergy, do we know your name?
You never asked.
What's your name?
Marcus? My name is Marcus.
Marcus, I saw you had to unlock this door, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Who all had keys?
Well, it used to be the Cardinal Blackwood, and sometimes Barney and I, the other altar boy, sometimes we'd get the keys if Cardinal Blackwood requested a certain particular item.
Where'd you get the keys from? Is it like
From Cardinal Blackwood?
so? That was the only set.
Mm-hmm. It's just a simple lock. So when the items were stolen, the thieves forced the door open. Was, I assume, some sort of bar or lockpick. I'm not sure, but there was damage to the door. We replaced it.
All right, the look there. To the magic shop.
Should we attempt to break this thing outside?
I'd hate to be on the bad side of a god.
Mm-hmm.
Can confirm. Don't want to piss Bast off.
Well, there you go.
But I can't say it hasn't crossed my mind.
Maybe as a last resort, but the magic shop seems like a good next step.
Yeah, let's see if they got some sort of counter spell over there.
And we do.
You're gonna take this relic out of this church?
Probably
Yeah.
shouldn't actually take it out of the church.
I was planning to, so you'll have to stop me.
Hoo-hoo.
Well, at the very least, we shouldn't go too far with it.
Okay, Tower's walking out with it. So if you wanted him to leave it behind, just
If the people from the church don't care, then what does it matter to us?
Well, the people from the church is Marcus. So are you taking it in full view of Marcus, or
yes, Yeah.
Everyone else has been devoured by cat or cat creature.
Yeah.
Hard to say which.
But yeah, in understanding that we are trying to take care of this as a problem, it's
Sure.
this.
So you begin to walk out of the door.
Mhm.
Excuse me.
Yes.
That is a sacred relic of Bast.
Okay.
I've taken a solid oath. I am not to let any relics leave. He pulls a knife.
Oh wow.
Well,
got
good
told
luck
you,
with
people
that.
are funny about the relics.
I said good luck with that.
You leaving?
Yeah. You do understand that.
He's running towards you.
Okay.
Just leave it here, Tower. They'll. They want to keep it. He can deal with what's coming out of it then.
Works for me. Tower will leave it behind.
Oh, thank God.
Why? In this case, why?
It's a altar boy oath.
Right, but you're thanking a god that caused your whole
The
religious, not just the problem, but your whole religious structure to be devoured in front of you. It just seems like an odd. Anyway, we'll try to be back with something that might help.
Okay, sounds good.
Is it like a power thing? Like you're the last one left, and therefore you're like the Pope. Anyway.
What's a pope? It's a funny sounding word.
It's a thing in religions back. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Go into the magic shop.
Okay. It is
Gonna
very
lick
much,
my lollipop.
very much the same scene. It is like a labyrinth of sorts from the opening of the door all the way to the back counter, where that same individual that is just kind of nonplussed by your presence, awaiting whatever you might need.
Hello there. Do we know the person's name?
Well, you guys did make some quite large purchases from here. This would be where you bought recently, very much recently, bought that monocle and a ring or something like that.
Yeah, got a ring of protection.
Well, shopkeep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not exactly sure what we're looking for. Do you have anything that could make a magic item not be a magic item?
Something that could suppress some magical items' effects.
Well, is it a device or is it a curse or what is it?
Might be a little of both. There's a statuette of Bast, or representing Bast, over at the Temple of Bast, and the statue of Bast was, and it still is, spawning many, many cats. So the cats filled up the Temple of Bast, and now the statue of Bast is still spewing out cats, and it needs to be stopped.
Well, if it's a device, devices can usually be turned off.
It seems more
If
like a
it's-
magical effect.
If it's some magical devices can be turned off. If it's a curse, then that's a little out of usually clerics or such have magics that do that, restorations and whatnot. Anything else, as far as what you're talking about, it's usually more temporary, shutting things down for a time, not necessarily permanently.
Well, that sounds good.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like this here, she pulls out a coin. Like, this is a magical device, and if I do this, and it lights up, but I can also turn it off. And she touches a part of it again, and it goes cold. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Do any of us have Identify?
No.
We're not magical, folks.
Yes, I do.
Oh.
As a ritual.
Ah.
Perhaps we should identify the statue.
Well, it would certainly help.
Yeah, it really would. All right. Talk to you later. Have a great day.
Yeah.
Oh, you too. Cling, cling, cling. 7 cats run by you as you exit the building.
Well, I guess, yeah. Let's go back up there and I'll identify it.
Sounds like a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Making your way back to the cathedral, and let's see. Feels like let's see, 60 times like 600 cats later, right? Your identify finishes.
Yep.
You get the sense that this item, although it doesn't necessarily have a like name such as like Rod of Alertness or something, the magic that is spewing forth from it is in fact conjuration. It does seem to be some sort of ancient device, and you get the sense that the patterned bumps in the various places seem to be working as sigils in some way, not unlike the buttons from the other dungeon you went into, temple, and that perhaps pressing the correct combination of those buttons will make the item inert once more. And having identified it, you'd know what that combination was, and I assume you would, unless you want to keep spawning cats. It's up to you.
Yeah, absolutely. If identifying it gives the pattern, for sure.
And the device, after you let 6 seconds go by, 12 seconds, 18 seconds, no more cats.
Wow.
Oh, all right.
That worked out quite nicely.
Indeed. Well,
So now we light a torch, right? That'll clean this place up.
You see that much like Filch at the end of Harry Potter Deathly Hallows, he is like brooming cat corpse and pissed shit
Oh.
away, but it does seem quite futile, but he's doing it.
Oh. Do you think it would work? That's this campaign, right? That ball thing that we have that cleans stuff up?
Oh, the cleansing stone?
Yeah.
I think there's enough stone for this. It'll clean up the bodies, but it won't clean up the bodies.
It works on your garments and your person, so.
We could do it to every individual dead cat, so it doesn't look quite as bad.
I feel like they're technically objects now.
The great debate.
it's a corpse and object. Yes. Well, I believe that wraps up this problem in here. It seems like you have plenty to be getting on with. Should we see how the cats are doing around town to make sure that that's okay?
Sure. I don't know how much we can do about it, but I'm curious.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, we were hired to find the thieves, right? Are we gonna try for that? Or the stolen goods, I guess, right?
Well, I believe we were hired to help Cardinal Ironwood with that. All right? Cardinal Blackwood?
Just Blackwood.
Yeah. With Cardinal Blackwood no longer existing, I'm not sure we have anybody to answer to.
From a technical standpoint, you would be correct.
I mean, if you're curious, I am dead curious as well, but there seems to be very little in the way of clues.
A tooth.
A tooth, true. And Tower pulls out the tooth.
How so?
From a pocket and then unwraps it from the tape and holds it in his hand.
And as you do that, then in your mind you hear, "So sorry to have missed you, but I hope you'll continue on the path. I got some more things to do before we catch our train, but I look forward to seeing you." And the tooth crumbles into dust.
Did we all hear it or just Tower?
Just Tower.
As Tower's hearing it, Tower's like, it's kind of a weird effect in that you're hearing Tower replicate a voice that not Tower's. Poorly. It's like through a really terrible like filter, but you'll get the words and an accent probably.
So, what's going on with you, son?
I believe that was some type of magic attached to that tooth there. We've experienced something similar before with the tooth, right?
Flint flashes back to son of a bitch. It was him.
That was definitely Silas's voice in my head.
Can you remind me of our last encounter? Or I don't know if I need to do a history check or what, but our last encounter with him, what he said?
I believe he fucked off into the Fey realm and sicked a bunch of pixies on us.
Oh, he certainly hopped into a portal.
Oh, that's right.
You never really experienced where it went because you decided not to.
But did
follow
he
after
say
before it
something?
closed.
True. A
He
bunch of
mentioned
Fey showed up. I guess I'm making assumptions.
Right. He mentioned catching a train before.
Okay.
This would be the second time he's mentioned it.
Breadcrumbs made out of teeth and cats.
And I believe we have caught our thief, or found him,
Identified.
at least. Right. Capturing the thief might take much longer. Though now we have legal reason to be after him, assumedly.
That is a good point.
Yeah, of course, and the evidence of that tenuous connection did just crumble to dust on us.
The gods will prove us right in the end, right? It's not about needing to prove your case, it's about being right.
You believe in the gods?
Oh, absolutely. I don't go deep into practicing it, but I certainly have a follow. I personally follow. And fuck, I had a name here. It was written down somewhere, and I can't find it now. But it was a god of creation. If that's
which
what I
believe
remember.
is Ptah or something like that.
Yeah, Ptah. That's right.
Ptah.
Yeah, but I believe I'm a child of Ptah.
I still haven't finished this Pantheon thing.
Also, out of character, it occurs to me, is this a variant on Magic Mouth?
Nope.
Involving, like, literal mouthpieces?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Note to self, then.
Yeah, that's fun, though.
And it's not... I'll tell you this much, too. Well, I shouldn't. No, I won't. I won't tell you anything.
There's a spell that I wanted to pick up for Branch, a cantrip at one point that I didn't realize existed until very recently because it was in like a side book, and it was something like this. Like it was a cantrip where you can leave a little piece of ribbon or string behind and attach a thought to it, and that thought gets transmitted.
Oh, that's cool. That's not what this is.
Yeah, fair, totally. I'm remembering it felt kind of like that, and it doesn't matter. Anyway, and yeah, I'll let the clergy person there know that, because if there's anybody we are answering to, it is that person. Like, I think we just received a message from a longtime foe, and it appears that that person is the thief that you are, or your church rather, was looking for.
Oh, okay, I don't know what you were promised, but as acting head of the Church of Bast, I would like to award you with this. And he hands you a pouch. Feels pretty weighted as he hands it over to you.
Yeah, Tara will take it. Sure.
Thank you. I know it was bad, but I think it would be worse without you. I think it would have been much worse.
Oh, I think that is
as he's kind of looking around, looking at the walls.
That is a wise statement, young man.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And I'm sure you'll be just fine here. If nothing else, this is truly a show of strength from your god.
Maybe. Would one of you put that in the crate, please? I don't want to touch it.
Yeah, Tower's been handling it this whole time. It's not a problem for it.
Yeah, it takes but a few moments for you to walk up the stairs, go in the room, put it in the crate, put the top on. You see him like scribbling some sort of paint over it to make like a big X to know.
Should Aranoa, should we, and this is like in a whisper as we're kind of leaving the vicinity and kind of away, should we explain to the young man how to function that device, how to work it?
Oh, yeah. And I suppose I didn't say this out loud, but in my mind, Aranoa would have pulled out a notepad that she keeps with her and written out instructions for how to turn it off. And so I pull that up. Say, yep, here it is, and I hand it over to the Marcus. Here you go, Marcus. If this happens again, keep a calm head and go and press these buttons in this order.
Oh, I'll try.
Freak out.
I mean, you could get one or two cats now that you know how to work it, right? If you really needed cats in the future. I doubt you'll need more cats anytime soon.
And even looking around this space, there's about 20 cats in this building. Not including the corpses. I mean, live cats.
Yes.
There's about 20 in various places.
And yeah, Tower will trail off listlessly after that.
Excellent.
So again, should we check out the town, make sure everything is going okay?
Yeah, let's go see how those cats are doing out there.
Good luck with the temple, Marcus, and rebuilding and cleaning and all that goodness.
Thank you. I think we're going to be closed for a while, but you're welcome to return if ever you want to give devotion to the goddess.
Don't know why I would.
Okay. Good night. As with all this stuff, it is like heading into evening at this point, but you can still walk around the town if you want to. It's like the sun is setting.
Might actually be easier to spot the cats with their eyes anyways.
Yeah.
How many eyes do we see peering back at us?
A lot as you walk through this town and its streets. Everywhere you look, there's at least one cat. Some in various activities. People are like kicking cats out of establishments with brooms and such. There's a lot here. You can even see that you see a couple run down into the mining area as well. Who's to say how many actually went in there? Going around to where you entered the town, you can see some out in the distance of this town. It seems like they've kind of just spread out for the time being. There's a lot of them here, but
Tower's keeping a close auditory device out for any signs of actual danger, screaming, that kind of stuff.
You're really just hearing a lot of like, "Get the fuck out of here!
Cool.
Get out of here!" Ha!
Excellent. It's exactly that. That's what we want, right?
Mhm.
Sure. But yeah, nothing to the effect of what you had just dealt with, for sure.
Right.
Seems like all these cats, for what you can tell, are just cats. Not that isn't a problem in itself.
Shall we take a look at what we were given as a reward here?
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Tower will bring the satchel into like the middle of our little group here and open up and reveal whatever's inside to all.
Just looking into the contents of the bag,
Mhm.
you see a mix of gold and platinum, as well as what looks to be a couple gems if you're feeling around, a pair of like spectacles, like like eyeglasses, but they seem to be rounded, and that's in a bracelet of some sort, but without actually like truly examining the contents of the bag. It's hard to say exactly how much or what it is in particular. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
But by the weight of it, you can tell that there's a good amount of stuff in here. It seems like he just scooped up some shit to give to you out of gratitude.
Nice. Do you guys feel like sleeping under the stars tonight or under a roof? Or is there anything else you'd like to get done?
I feel pretty ready to wrap up. I'd like to sleep in a bed myself.
This is.
Excuse me.
Did I write down how long my armor was going to take? I don't think I did. And this is still just our first day here, right?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I wouldn't mind hanging around here for a little while. I would like to find somebody that might be able to train me in athletics or possibly medicine.
I'm sure we could.
But that was going to be weeks, right? And so
I'm not
have to come
100%
back?
sure. Not 100% sure, but I know we could look it up either through books or through a previous episode.
That's true.
Things are recorded if we wanted to, but I know it was a few days for sure. I just don't remember exactly what I said.
Oh, but you think it was only days?
I'm not exactly sure on the specific time. I don't want to promise you anything and be wrong.
I do remember there being a discussion about the craziness of crafting times in D&D, and therefore
like
the number got right.
It's like 50 gold a day, or is that 50 gold a week? And then the horse armor, you wanted plate, and that's going to be 4 times the cost of normal plate armor, which is 1,500 gold. So
6,000. If it's like 50 gold a work week, we're looking at a crazy amount of time, essentially.
Yeah, which just seems wild. I mean, I get it if it's a situation of like you're building the armor from scratch, like smelting metal and forming it. It's not a perfect system. It's actually barely a system.
Honestly, I hate the crafting in D&D. Like,
considering everyone and their mom that plays D&D is like, I want to craft something. That would be cool. I'm almost shocked that there's not a better system. Even in Xanathar's, which they're like, let's do a crafting system, and it's still kind of like, oh, I get that you don't want a level 5 player making a legendary item, but hot damn, guys.
You can create rules around that.
Yeah.
You can get very specific with it. Like,
it's definitely more than one day though, Shra, so we have time to figure that out.
Yeah.
But
I wanted to mark down a day, and then I realized I don't have anything down. So
well, you can write down your horse armor, and you can put a tally for a day's worth like you'll know that you at least have a day's worth by the end of this, right? So, and then we can just figure out what that was or what it should be. Nobody but Alec is listening to this anyway, so if there's a little inconsistency, it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. People hearing or reading that Reddit story might.
Oh gosh, yeah,
We'll see.
that'd be weird.
Yeah, it would. I think it really would be weird, but we'll see what happens.
Of all the D&D stories I've ever seen on YouTube, I've never like tried to hunt down the actual story. You know what I'm saying? Myself. So
I was
don't know.
only joking.
I know. Okay. Anyways, what are we doing? What do we want to be doing?
Tower's going to go ahead and pay for rooms for everybody for the night
Okay.
at the local establishment. Oh
how
yeah,
many
no.
rooms? How many rooms you getting?
I don't mind sharing. Does anybody else want to share with me, or does people want separate rooms? I'm fine either way. I'm gonna
fine
be
with
up.
sharing.
Okay, I can share with Aaron Noah then. Straw and Sheriff, do you guys want separate rooms, or would you two like to share as well?
Makes no difference to me.
Well, assuming you get 2 rooms, it's going to run you about 1 gold.
Brilliant. And I'll take care of that. Done. Shall we take inventory on everything that's, in here? And, Aaron Noah, if you're up to it, going over that ritual a few more times for...
I was thinking the same thing myself. Yeah, I want to identify those spectacles and the bracelet.
Sweet. The bracelet seems to be just a beautifully worked bracelet with cat imagery. But the spectacles, you do get something off them. They are cat eye glasses. They will allow someone to see in the dark up to 60 feet. But while wearing the glasses in darkness, your eyes glow with a cat's eye, and you have disadvantage on stealth checks.
Ah. Is somebody adding this to shared spoils, or?
Yeah, I will.
Okay. Cool.
Or does anyone want this? Who doesn't have dark vision?
Do I have dark vision? Is this just like seeing normal dark vision, or is this like magical darkness, see-through stuff?
It's just normal dark vision.
Fair enough. I do not currently have normal dark vision. Is anybody else missing normal dark vision?
Yeah, I don't have it.
Then go for it, because I have Fat Bottom Girl, which if I have her active, I can see through normal and magical darkness just fine. So I have an option there.
All right.
And then counting up the coin pieces, you have about 4,000 gold, 100 platinum there.
Wait. Shall we just go ahead and split that evenly?
Yep.
Brilliant. And is anybody, how do they say it these days? Is anybody feeling this bracelet?
What's it look like again?
It's gold, and it's like worked in such a way that it has like cat imagery along it as well.
And there was nothing special about it.
Not in terms of being magical or not. It was mundane. It looks like just a really nice worked piece of bracelet.
I could maybe infuse this with something one of these days.
Cool.
Unless
Yeah,
anyone
like
else
it would be, if anything,
feeling
it would be,
as Tower said.
if anything, it would have a monetary value. But as I don't think any of you have a way to like appraise jewelry like that, we wouldn't be sure. You can tell it looks nice. It looks expensive. But.
I got no need for it.
Oh, it doesn't match my aesthetic.
Nothing in particular.
Well, there you go. You're welcome to keep it or find an appraiser or whatever, or try to trade it.
I've added it to my inventory.
And I suppose since it's 9:05, that's where we can stop for the evening.
Ooh. And cool. We're in town for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into it.
Resting for the evening, wondering what the hell's going on here.
Why is Silas out here collecting all these fucking things? What are they going to be used for? That's what I'm wondering.
I'm sure.
How does Silas keep knowing we're going to show up and find his teeth?
Another interesting question.
Oh, I mean, the first time was pretty obvious, right?
Yes. Yes.
How he would know that. It's like, I'm out of here.
Here's a
Take
tooth.
this. Yeah. Second time might have just been a crapshoot. Who knows?
I need to find this cantrip I was talking about because it was cool. It was so cool. I think it was Sword Coast Adventures.